the Southern Ohio Farm Show. This is Gigi Neal of OSU Extension in Claremont County, Agricultural and Natural Resources Educator.
I'm James Morris, the Agricultural and Natural Resources and Community Development Educator for the Ohio State University Extension in Brown County.
And I'm Brooke Beam, the Ohio State University Extension Educator for Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Community Development in Highland County. And we will be your hosts for the Southern Ohio Farm Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Southern Ohio Farm Show. The day is July 1st, 2020, and since we're so close to the 4th of July weekend, this week we wanted to provide you with some tips to ensure that you have a great time this weekend. So Brooke Beam is going to be giving us some grilling tips, and Christy Clary is going to teach us how to make some homemade ice cream. And after just seeing that weather forecast, I think if you show up to the family gathering with homemade ice cream, you're guaranteed to be the favorite. But first, we're going to start off with Sara Newsome, who is going to teach us how to show a chicken at the fair. So if you are new to 4-H or you're considering taking a new project, you definitely will not want to miss this segment. So Sara, go ahead and take it away for us.
Hello everyone, it is so good to see you today. My name is Sara Newsome, and I am representing the Fab Five 4-H Club here in Highland County. Today, I, as well as my special guest, Henrietta, am going to be showing you how to exhibit your poultry project at your county fair. Before we can get in how to show your bird, I think it's important we talk about what you need to be wearing to showmanship. Here in Highland County, exhibitors wear an outfit almost exactly like what I'm wearing for you today. A long sleeve white shirt, dark colored jeans, as well as a belt, and boots, twisted X's, or any other kind of show shoe. We prefer long sleeves in the chicken barn to keep from getting scratched by your bird when they get agitated. You'll also notice that I pulled the top half of my hair back, and often people with longer hair than I do will pull it back completely into a braid or a ponytail. This is important for multiple reasons. One, it prevents your bird from getting entangled in your hair, especially if it's longer, and it also prevents you from pushing back your hair from your face and taking the attention away from your bird. Now that you know what you need to wear to showmanship, it's time to get into showing your bird. Depending on your age range, the judge is going to ask you to show your bird in many different ways, and it also depends on the judge. Oftentimes, exhibitors get scared when the judge asks them to exhibit a certain part of the bird that they've never shown before. But today, I'm going to show you how to show every part of the bird so that you never have to worry again when the judge asks you. My very first year, 7 years ago, showing birds, I didn't even know how to hold my chicken the proper way. So that's what we're going to start with today, especially for our younger members. To do this, you're going to take your hand and you're going to put it in this motion, with your 3 fingers together and your pinky and your thumb out. You're going to slide your hand under the bird, putting your 3 fingers between her legs, as well as your thumb and your pinky on the outside. You're going to hold her legs tightly like this, so they are very secure. The interesting thing about birds is that as long as their legs feel secure, for the most part they trust you, and they're not going to have a moment where they freak out and try to fly out of your arms, although that does still happen even to the best showmen in poultry. Once you've mastered this grip, you're ready for any other show position. It's really important that you get out during the summer before your fair and you work with your birds and they know how to trust you and you're more confident in your actions as well. When we show in Highland County, we leave our birds sitting on the table more often than not because our arms can get tired if we're holding them for the extended period of time, and it also makes your bird warmer to have your arm there as they're getting your body heat, and that can agitate your bird or cause serious health issues. The first part of your bird that I'm going to show you how to exhibit today is the wing, as this is one of the most common, especially for younger members. To show this, you're going to take your hand and you're going to hold the outside of their wing by the wing bow. This is the bone that runs along the very outside edge of their wing. Gently, so you don't dislocate their wing, you're going to pull it outwards from their body, and you're going to display the feathers here along the back side of the wing, right here. These would be the primary, secondary, and axial feathers, another question judges often ask young exhibitors. If your bird is used to this, they're not going to have any problem with you doing this during the fair, so again, it's important to get out and practice it. Next, I'm going to teach you how to show the head of your bird. To do this, you're going to very gently hold the beak. You don't want to squeeze and you don't want to hold all the way up by its face, but just the very, very tip of the beak. You're just going to gently put your fingers on it, and you can bring its head back and forth as well as up and down. This is going to show all of the parts of the head, the comb, eye, ear, beak, etc., as the judge often wants to see. Sometimes birds have a harder time with this because it's more unusual for them, so this is something that you might have to try multiple times when you're showing your judge. But don't freak out. It happens to everyone, especially if it's hot and your bird is already agitated. Your judge understands and they want to see you succeed. The next part that I'm going to show you how to show on your bird is the tail feather as well as the vent. This is something that comes especially for our intermediate level showers, and you show just like this. You put the bird's head underneath of your arm, hold its feet in that tight position, and you're going to move the bird quickly this way. This is going to cause it to be a little bit off balance, and it's going to flare its tail feathers out in response to that. This shows all of the feathers along the tail right here, as well as the vent underneath. Sometimes, especially if you've been practicing this with your bird all summer, they won't have quite the same reaction as they would if you'd been doing it for the first time. But again, your judge understands, and if you're using the correct motion to try to show, they're going to understand, and they're going to applaud you for practicing. Or sometimes your bird just doesn't feel like it today. The final part of your chicken that we're going to practice showing today is the leg. This can often be the hardest, as it's really hard to not have your hand in the way. Again, you're going to have their legs in your hand in that tight grasp, and you're going to pull their foot down lightly with your other hand while you hold the bird against your body. When you do this, you're showing the paw, which is what the foot of a bird is called, claws, as well as the shank of the leg. It's really important that you don't pull hard on the leg, as this will freak the bird out. Again, their legs are what make them feel the most secure. Once you've mastered these few ways to show your bird, you're pretty well set for showmanship. Sometimes your judge will ask you to show the underside of your bird, and this more often happens in meat judging. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well, but this is something that more of our senior exhibitors will do. Again, you're going to hold their legs in that firm grip, as well as their wings. I like holding their wings so as you slide them, they don't put them straight out and get themselves hurt. Again, you're going to put their head behind your elbow, and you're going to very gently slide the bird down your leg and over to your thigh, just like this. Oftentimes I like to push my leg out so they have something to rest against and they feel even more secure. Here, it's very important that you have that secure grip on their legs so they don't feel like they're going to drop. When this happens, their wings are going to come straight out from their body, as well as you can see all the way across their chest. Again, this happens more often in meat judging, but it's important to know how to do that as well. To bring them back up, you simply put your hand across their back and pull them back up the same way you dropped them. You can set your bird back on the table, and they're calm, and you've just done an amazing showmanship. Thank you so much for tuning in today and listening to my talk on showing your bird, and I can't wait to see you put these skills to use at your next county fair. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sarah. Hot dogs and bratwursts are a favorite of many when they are celebrating the 4th of July, but it's important to use proper food science to make sure that you and your family stay healthy. The 4th of July is a great excuse to get the grill out, but be sure to use some of our meat science techniques when you are cooking this weekend. Both hot dogs and brats are primarily made from pork. Hot dogs should be cooked to 140 degrees, and brats should be cooked to 160 degrees, both for an internal temperature to ensure proper cooking. While there is no official right way to eat a hot dog, I like mine with ketchup and mustard. If you're also looking for something else to add to your weekend plans, think about making strawberries in a very patriotic way. Simply take fresh strawberries, white chocolate, and blue sanding sugar to make a combination that is truly a red, white, and blue dessert. And both hot dogs and the patriotic strawberries go exceedingly well with homemade ice cream. So next we have Christy Clary, who will be showing us how to make homemade ice cream at home, which is a great activity for everyone in your family.
Hello everyone, I'm Christy Clary, OSU Extension Educator with 4-H Youth Development in Brown County. I'm here today to teach you how to make my favorite treat, ice cream. We are going to be using the National 4-H Curriculum Acres of Adventures Ice Cream in a Bag recipe to teach you how you can make this treat at home on your own whenever you feel like. To start off with, we wanted to make sure that we gathered all of our ingredients. So I have a measuring cup for wet ingredients. I also have measuring spoons for our wet and dry ingredients, along with gallon and quart size baggies, and then all of the ingredients that we'll need, as well as some towels and paper towels to help clean up. The next thing is we want to make sure that we're following safe food handling practices. So before I got started, I pulled my hair back and then I washed my hands for at least 30 seconds with hot soapy water to make sure that my hands were clean before I got started. Let's review our recipe. We will need regular granulated sugar, whipping cream, and vanilla extract. So it's a simple recipe we're going to be using. Next, make sure that your bag is open so that you can put your ingredients inside. The first thing we're going to do is take our wet measuring cup and set it down on the table so it's flat, and we're going to measure out ½ a cup of whipping cream. When you're measuring wet ingredients, you want to make sure that your table is level, you've got your cup sitting down on your table, and then you want to actually get down to eye level with your measuring cup and pour it in, looking at that line, and you want to bring your eye level with how much you want to put in, because there's going to be what's called a meniscus formed. That's where that liquid curves up, and you want to make sure that when you're measuring that ½ cup out, you're measuring to the bottom of the meniscus. Perfect. ½ a cup of whipping cream. Now what we're going to do is dump this in our bag. This is a great time if you have a helper to have them hold the bag. This is a great team activity. So we're gonna measure that in there, and then I'm gonna be able to set my bag down here. Next, what we need is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I have a teaspoon here, and I have my vanilla extract. I'm going to measure this over the cup that I used to measure my whipping cream, and then carefully add it to my bag. And this is just pure vanilla extract that I'm using. And now our recipe calls for ½ a tablespoon of granulated sugar. So what I'm going to actually do is I've got granulated sugar in a container here. I have my measuring spoon, and I'm gonna scoop it out, but it's gonna have way more in there than what I need. And so I'm gonna use a table knife to pull it back towards me to fill in, and then I'm gonna run my table knife forward to level off my scoop to make sure that I'm getting that ½ tablespoon that I need. I'm gonna add that to my bag, and then it is time to close your bag, and you wanna get out some of the air, but not all of it. You can leave a little bit of air in there. And then mix it all together in the bag right here, making sure it's nice and sealed tight. You're going to add it to your gallon bag. And now what you want to do is add ice. As I said, I'm just using blocks of ice that I made in the freezer at home. You can buy bags of ice. The recipe says approximately 4 cups. You just want to make sure that your bag is fairly full so that your ice cream is immersed in it. That looks good. I can always add more. Next, what you want to do is add salt. I'm just using regular table salt. You can use what's called ice cream salt or rock salt. And we want to add salt because it'll cause our ice to melt and lower that freezing temperature, which will help us make ice cream faster through this process. So now what you're going to do is shake. Your bag is filled, you just shake it. You're going to shake your bag for 5 to 10 minutes or until you have ice cream. If your hands get cold, this is a great time, again, to make this a team activity and hand the bag off to someone else to shake. Or if your hands get too cold, wrap it in a towel while you shake it. You want to keep shaking your bag for 5 to 10 minutes or however long it takes to get your ice cream to the consistency you would like. It's going to be about the consistency of soft serve. Once you've done that, you're going to carefully open your bag and remove your bag of ice cream. And now what you want to do is make sure you use either a towel or a paper towel to wipe your bag off really well, because you did have that salt in there. And you want to make sure that your bag is clean of that before you open it up so that you don't get that salty water into your ice cream. Now your options are to pour it in a bowl or enjoy it right out of the bag. So now you have your own simple recipe to make ice cream in a bag at home this summer and enjoy the sweet treat whenever you feel like.
Thank you, Christy, for that wonderful ice cream treat that you shared with us. Hopefully many of you can use this recipe this weekend as you're doing your holiday celebrations for 4th of July. And as we think about 4th of July, we also think about fireworks. Make sure that you and your family are displaying your fireworks in a safe manner, making sure that there's proper distancing, lighting, and the displays are going to go off in the correct location. Safety is of utmost importance when doing anything around fireworks. And speaking of fireworks, to end our show today, we have a display of fireworks. So please enjoy our 4th of July celebration from the Southern Ohio Farm Show. We'll see you next week.